morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And I am back after a few weeks off. I had some fairly major surgery to remove my pituitary gland, so I am getting better daily and getting adjusted to new hormone and steroid levels, and yeah, looking forward to just getting over this and moving on. So we are back today to do some crafting, but first I've got some administrative stuff, as I often do for you. So first is to remind you that the online exclusives are live and active. You can scan this QR code to go take a look at them, or just go to nancysniftynotes.com and go to my shop and link into my Stampin' Up! Store, and they'll all be there. There are all kinds of great things that aren't shown on this flyer that are now available too. And I also wanted to let you know we are down to the last, 5-6 weeks of this mini catalog that has all kinds of awesome things in it. And one of those things is the Fancy Flora suite, which I will open up to here. And this is what I have been featuring on my blog this week and Instagram. And I'm going to do some more stuff with it today. I'm going to take a moment to show you the bundles that are in it, because it's a double bundle suite. Let me get that out of the way. And two-tone Flora stamp set with coordinating dies to cut out all of these images, which is great. And then also this wonderful lacy floral die. Hello, Paula and Gladys and Roseanne. Thanks for joining me today. Yes, I am feeling much better, although you'll hear I'm still stuffy in my nose. All the packing is out, thankfully, but there's still some stuffiness in there, and I still can't blow my nose, so that's going to be around for a while. And then the other bundle in this Fancy Flora suite is called Something Fancy, and it's all kinds of great sentiments and some really nice label dies that coordinate with all of it. So I'm going to set those aside, and then I'm going to bring this in. This is a one-sheet wonder that makes 3 cards that my friend Tatiana did 2 Christmases ago. We had this really fun star set. And it's 6x6s are one of my biggest frustrations with Stampin' Up! I love their papers. I'm sure they have a reason for it. But the 6x6 paper is the least efficient way I think you could do designer series paper. So to have a template for cutting it out and getting cards with the only waste on her template is this little tiny strip right there. So I decided I was going to pull it out and see how it worked with this paper, because, you know, we don't have this. Yeah, I just thought it would be fun to see how it worked with this suite. So I did a sample run yesterday, and I'll show you how those came out. They've been sitting open overnight, so they're not lying flat. But I think they came out quite nicely. I'm really enjoying stamping these flowers. They're fun to get lined up. They're fun to do the different color combinations and pick out what's in the designer series paper. So I'm going to make another set of these using a different set of the designer series paper. Hello, Christine. Thanks for joining me today. So this is the piece of paper I chose to use today. And one thing I would mention is it's good to have paper where the front and back colors work together. There aren't many in this that they don't. What was one that I thought maybe was not so great? Oh yeah, like this one's blues and purples, and that I didn't think worked. Even though it's got some of the same colors, I just didn't think it would work so well together. So yeah, anyhow, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this up according to her cutting guide, and we will see how that works for making these cards. So she said the first strip was like 3.4 centimeters. And if you're in North America and you're used to working in inches, these will still work for you just fine. I will put a link to these, and you can cut them out in centimeters. See that there's centimeters and inches, and they work really easily and really well, and you will actually be able to use it just fine. So this is 7.5. The only thing that will be a little bit different is the length of this strip, and I'll show you when we get to that card. 5.9. But otherwise, these will go right on letter size card bases just fine. So here I've got 3 soft succulent card bases again, and these are going to go 1, 2, and this one's supposed to be like so. I'll probably play with this a little bit and decide which one I want which way. So so this is going to be longer. Our card bases are longer than the letter size ones, and I'll show you right here. I am going to glue this on and trim it off, and so you can just do that for the letter size base as well. So you'll cut off a little bit more than I will. Well, that's okay. It's still just going to be a little strip. She cut hers off to a particular length ahead of time. I like to do it. I can get it exactly where my card ends. Yeah, these flowers are just really fun to stamp. See, and then you can just cut it off right where you need it. Done. Set that aside for a moment. Actually, decide here if I want green ribbon or pink ribbon. This is the hard part, is figuring out the details. I do actually have evening evergreen ribbon too. So let's take a look at that. Sorry, am I being too quiet? Yeah, I think that's a no. What do you think? Pink, petal pink, or soft succulent? And I went ahead and I stamped and cut out a bunch of these last night so that we wouldn't have to sit here and do it. on camera, we could just do all the decorating part. You like the pink? Pink. I'm leaning that way too. Pink, pink. Okay, sounds unanimous. I can do that. My favorite way to do this is to bring in some tear and tape. And I'm putting it right up against that seam. And then I just fold it back. This is how I'm sure I get it all the way to the end. And again, I'm going to lay it right down onto that seam. Bring in my ribbon scissors. And trim. And done. So now we just need to figure out what we're stamping and how we're arranging. And I'm just gonna cheat because I really liked how things came out last night. So I'll probably just do a version of that, which was there. See, and you wouldn't think the same color as this would be something good, but pardon me. What do you think? That's gonna work? And shall we do birthday again? So this is Evening Evergreen. This sentiment actually comes from the framed florets set. And I just think it works quite nicely there. And then I'm going to show you again my favorite press and seal. I like how I have things arranged there. So I'm bringing in a piece of the press and seal plastic wrap. It's, you know, just plastic wrap that's got, this one's getting worn down, adhesive like a Post-it note on the back. So now I can pick those up just where I had them and like them, and go ahead and put dimensionals on the back. Come here. There we go. Oop. Get another one on there. Hold them together. Okay. And now again, I have a minute. I have all the time I want, actually, to place them just where I want them. And pick it off. And if I think I need a dot of glue under somewhere, I can go and do that, but I think that's going to be just fine. So I'll set that one aside. We'll bring in the next one. So now I can play with my bits of my 2 pieces of paper. I could do them like that and have them showing the same side. I could do like that. Like that. I think maybe like that. I'm gonna, that very dark corner. If I just cover it up a little bit, I think will be a better thing. So, hi Anne, thanks for joining me this morning. So I'm doing an eyeball here to get about the same margin. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. There we go. So there's a little bit of the dark green and the soft suede, but not so much. So it's a little bit lighter overall. And I think I'm going to bring in the thank you again. This one is from, this is from the Something Fancy. And you might remember I am pretty big on cleaning my stamps right away, just because I have them fall over onto projects too many times and ruin them, and it makes me mad. So here's the one I did last night in the other color scheme. Here's the one I'm going to do today. So let's see what we got. That one. I'm going to do this one a little bit differently because of what I've got cut. Let's see here. So I just sit here and I play until I see something, see a design I like, an effect I like. Oh my goodness. And I get some that I may have decide I have to do some more. I just did some basic stuff. What are we gonna do here? Yeah, press and seal is a pretty awesome thing. Like I said, this is the most time-consuming part. No, I like the other one here better. Ah. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to bring in some sticky tape. Get that ribbon stuck down. Get those three. Okay, now I can kind of play a little bit more. I'll trim those off a bit more probably. There we go. Getting there, you think? Ah, there we go. Okay, so let's see how we do here. Okay. Yeah, the ribbon, I don't know. Is it anchor? And again, now I can see through there just enough that I can figure out where I want this and at what angle. And this one, yeah, that one needs a little dot of glue under there. Come on. There we go. Let's see here. There we go. Put that aside. And now there's this one. Again, I am going to put this at the bottom because I'm going to be able to break that up a bit with that. I think that's what I want to do, but I'm going to play with my layout just a little bit because I may actually want to be able to cover that up with see what I'm doing here. The other one, I put it all down there. Yep, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm ready to glue this down. And now for this, to go across there, I need to trim it to the right length, but I also want to figure out what I'm going to put on there. I did happy birthday, and I think I'm just going to go with that again because I like it. This is from the Go-To Greetings, which is really cool. It's just got basically the same sentiments. Thinking of you, happy birthday, hello, just a note, thank you. I guess hello is only in the very smallest one. That could also be really good on here. That's what caught my attention. Maybe I'll do that one this time. But there are sentiments that we use a lot, and they're in different typefaces, and they're pretty, and they're just useful. So I'm going to cut this to the right width, which would be 10.5. And we'll go ahead and stamp the hello. Figure out how far. There we go. I could see I had some glue ooze out. Oh my goodness. And so clean that up a little bit. And I'm going to glue that on. And now I get to figure out these fun guys. We'll see about that. This one I like. Come here. So, talk to me about what you guys are up to. springtime for some of you. Well, it is for calendar for all of you North American friends. Whether the weather's cooperating or not, I don't know. Okay, I like that. Now we're going to add another one. I think that's okay. So, let's see what we've got here today. Pull this plastic out of the way. So there's the one I did last night. Here's the one today. So, those. And those. Do it like that, huh? Here's today's. This is last night. Weekly weekend storms, and yes, I could see that, Gladys. I remember living in Michigan and being ready for the snow to be finished. So, there we go. Thank you for joining me today. I will be back same time, same place next week, because I don't think we have daylight savings time ending yet next week. But I will have a link to this 6x6 template in the blog post for this. My next blog post will be of this card set, and I will have that. I encourage you to try it, whether you work in inches or centimeters. Really, cutting in centimeters is very, very easy, and you'll be able to use it on your regular letter card bases. So enjoy. Please post what you create on Nancy's Nifty Note Makers Facebook page. I'd love to see it. And I will see you next week. Till then, bye-bye.